I turned down a second interview for a position because I shared that I am part of the LGBT plus community and I need to find a workplace that is LGBT plus friendly. I could tell immediately as soon as I brought it up to her. I was like, this is a big part of my identity. It's something that I'm not going to hide about myself, so I need to find a workplace.
Just put the fries in the bag, dog. I'm not even going to do this today. I know that we got to get through the video. I know that we got to start deep diving into it so that we can have a deeper conversation about it. And I do plan on playing a whole video. But just put the fries in the bag. I want my coffee hot. Matter of fact, let me get some new fries. These people are sickening. They are absolutely sickening. I am a huge advocate for human rights, meaning that I will never discriminate against somebody when it comes to opportunity, you doing what you want to do, pursuit of freedom and happiness, whatever. I don't believe that you should push your views on other people. And one of the problems that we've had in the workplace for a long time is that they are forcing us to recognize, take training. I don't know, I'm not in the workplace anymore, but I recently retired for a second time at the end of 2024. And one of the things that they would require that we did in corporate America was always take this yearly corporate training where we had to make sure that we were careful about recognizing other people and pronoun specific and all of this other bull crap. And the thing that I couldn't understand, because I've worked with people who I didn't even discover that they had a girlfriend. My girl had a girlfriend. Girl with a girlfriend, I mean, you can kind of figure it out once you see the haircut or whatever, because stereotypes are earned, they're not given. We talk about that on a regular basis. You got to be able to effectively profile. However, there are people that I worked with that never mentioned anything about their sexuality. They never mentioned anything about what's going on at home. It wasn't even a part of the conversation that was broached. You know why? Because they came in, they did their job, and they went home. I came in, I did my job, and I went home, which means that there was no reason for us to get friendly when it comes to your sexuality, in the same way that I didn't lead with the fact that I was heterosexual in the workplace, is the same way that you shouldn't be leading with the fact that you are homosexual in the workplace. And so what I don't understand is that why do y'all need a place that is friendly when all we need to do is come in, work together to do what we are supposed to do from a professional perspective and take our asses home? And I will tell you that some of these people, all of the people that I've worked with, that I wound up finding out that they lived a different lifestyle or alternative lifestyle considering what I figured is traditional, they were incredible at their jobs. Absolutely incredible at their jobs. And so it never became a part of the interview process. I'm not going to ask you what your sexuality is. It never became a topic of conversation at the round table when we trying to strategize on how we can implement, then deliver, and then get this communication over into the developers so that we can launch this product on time. That never became a part of the conversation when we're doing stand-ups and the agile methodology and all of this other type of stuff. What we focused on was task specific. I don't even want to know who your family is. Now, I do understand that when you get to levels in corporate America, it's more about networking and who you know and whether or not you are a cultural fit. Meaning, are you friendly? Are you nice? Are you a cool person to work with? But outside of that, the rest of this is all BS. It is all nonsense. And when we talking about fatigue, can we please throw in alphabet community fatigue? Because God, Jesus, Lord have mercy, have rest upon their soul and help them, God, to not lead with it because we don't care. Now, what you do in your social life is your life. And that is another thing that people don't understand about conservatives, is that we don't care about what you do in your household. We care about whether or not you're going to bring in some drag queens in order to read some books to some children in the library. We care about whether or not you're forcing children to call you ma'am when you clearly are a sir. We care about whether or not you're going to let men use women's bathrooms. We care about whether or not you're going to have men playing in women's sports. We care about those things, things that you start to make a societal norm that has nothing to do with what we're doing as far as educating our children and all of that other type of stuff. Outside of that, man, do what the hell you want to do. I don't care if you got 40 football players in there and they all doing whatever to this. I don't care if that is the lifestyle that you want to live. I don't agree with it. I don't necessarily have to rock with it. If you share it online on social media, then it becomes a topic of conversation. And so then we have to have a different narrative because you now are a content creator. And so we can criticize and champion or highlight or talk about or have a conversation about different things that's happening in the culture that you decide to voluntarily share online to a public platform. But when it comes to you living your regular everyday life, ain't nobody tripping off of you. Ain't nobody discriminating against you. Ain't nobody trying to prevent you from getting an opportunity. Ain't nobody trying to stop you from moving and shaking and traveling where you want to go. We don't care. But this is dumb. You never, under any circumstance, fumble the bag because you just want to be overly aggressive with your sexuality and press it upon other people that ain't got nothing to do with it. I can see right now that they're not a cultural fit. Let's watch the whole video.
I turned down a second interview for a position because I shared that I am part of the LGBT plus community and I need to find a workplace that is LGBT plus friendly. I could tell immediately as soon as I brought it up to her. I was like, this is a big part of my identity. It's something that I'm not going to hide about myself, so I need to find a workplace that is LGBT plus friendly. And I could see the smile immediately fade from her face, and I was like, oh shit. We did it. I was like, damn, fuck. I really shared that part of myself, and you do not want me to work for you anymore. I get it. That's the thing, though. Conservatives or moderates just want you to not talk about it so they don't get uncomfortable.
And she automatically assumed the person was a conservative when a lot of times the person can be a Democrat, they could be liberal, but they don't want that as a part of the workplace organization. And so they're making a concerted effort to weed you out because they know that you're going to be a fucking problem and a liability for the company.
I am not going to be in a workplace where I'm going to spend 40, possibly even 50 hours of my week and not talk about my personal life and the people that I love and what my life is like. I am not going to hide parts of myself to make you comfortable.
But we got to deal with you. We got to deal with making you comfortable. This is stupid, bro.
It's not how it works. That's how conservatives want it to work, but just because you're uncomfortable doesn't mean that I need to hide myself. And it was okay. Nothing crazy happened. We just both agreed this isn't going to work, and I left. But that is a big issue for queer people specifically. I do need to turn down positions that could be great jobs because of that, and because of
Lazy, just put the fries in the bag. We don't want to hear it. Again, I think that this is intentional. Maybe they just don't want to work and they're trying to make an excuse as to why they can't find a job. I see people every day on this app talking about how they having problems finding these jobs or whatever. There's plenty of jobs that's out there. I think that people disqualify themselves by acting as though the workplace is not friendly enough for them. When in reality, they're not friendly and they're not a cultural fit. Remember on the Millionaire Morning Show, for those of you that tune into the Millionaire Morning Show, remember for a lot of y'all where I talk about being a cultural fit, that's what I'm talking about. It's not about racism. It's not about discrimination. It's not about any of that. It's whether or not you're going to be problematic. And guess what? We just really don't want to know about your personal life to that extent. We don't. We not tripping about it. We don't care what you do. Yo, I don't even want the job to become a part of my identity. I want to come in, make my money, go home, and then be able to collect my paycheck at the end of the week for what I signed up to do. That's it. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Always linking back to the content creator to make sure that I give props. Teach Hanley 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. And make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat.